Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. We are diving into another Shelf or Sell segment where we get rid of, at the moment, 5 games are going.
5 games are staying, and 1 is being deliberated upon.
And 1's being deliberated upon, which, by the way, I'm going to be home for the next couple weeks, which actually means we'll be able to play some of the games that are in our
deliberation pool.
Middle ground. Along with that, there's 2 things that I want to point out. First off, I know a lot of people are watching and enjoying this, and I've been seeing a lot of comments down below of people debating what is going, what is staying. Go ahead and pause and leave a comment on what you think is actually leaving or going. And please, this time, make sure you swing over to the other video that's being posted on Quackalope today. Link will be in the top of this video description. It's going to be an update on the channel. There's a lot of things we're excited about, things that we want to do more, and plans we have moving forward with this new space, the new studio, and we're going to talk to you all about them over there.
And it's not clickbait. Things are actually changing this time.
Oh, yeah. And along with that, Shira did all of the editing on this vlog, so go swing over there, take a look at that. We'd really appreciate some engagement and just your influence and kind of you to speak into what the next stage of this channel is going to be like. If you want to help direct where we go, now's the opportunity. We're all ears, we're listening, and we're ready to, start making big moves. That being said...
You love that saying. You say it every single video.
All the time.
That being said,
the second thing I wanted to point out...
I was about to launch into Cuphead, fine.
...is going to be the fact that less than 40% of our viewing audience on this channel are actually subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It's completely free, and you can unsubscribe anytime you'd like to. And with that, Cuphead is going to be our mid-game. I actually just... Between a lot of deliberation, some friends liking it, other friends being mixed, I just ordered this. This is based off of a video game. It's got that old school townsfolk tussle style, which I love, and I don't know if it's good. I really don't. I'm curious if there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm curious
about. The artwork looks really interesting. The fact that it's a dice game gives me a little hesitation. I'm not too...
And it's put out straight to print by the OP, which I often see as sort of straight to retail, like a cash grab type of thing. They don't always make, but it's not always a great game. So I'm compelled. Are you compelled as well? Are you interested in this? Did you get a chance to get one of your own? Or are you waiting for some coverage? Let us know, because I'm going to play this. And depending on how many people want to or are interested in seeing content on this, I'd like to do a video game comparison with the board game counterpart. And also, if we don't like it, if there's an audience that's curious, we might do like a confirmation bias or right for you, wrong for you, just kind of breaking down and letting you know where I am. I'm skeptical, but interested. Let's go ahead and start getting rid of some things. Now, we're still going through most of my collection, and all of my collection's actually here now.
Finally.
And we're building Calyx shelves this week, so things are going to get hectic quick. Unfair by Good Games Publishing. They put out a counterpart called Funfair just recently.
Yep.
This is a game I love the premise of.
Okay.
It's a game, and you haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it yet, and I did say, as soon as you put it up on the table, I'm like, we're keeping it until I get a chance to play.
She wants to play everything
I do want to play
possible.
Everything.
And because most of this is my collection, she hasn't a chance to play about half of them. So this is going to be a game that is all about take-that mechanics, and it can be really mean and really cruel in some ways, which I find works really well for some gaming groups. I've had good experiences with Unfair. And it's all about building an amusement park, a theme park, right? You're going to be crafting and building rides that start generating and escalating points. But that unfair nature of it, the fact that events and cards and way players interact with you can really twist the impact of the game, I don't find it's one I recommend or get to the table very often, just because it really requires a group that knows how to play and is ready for a take-that system. Funfair, which is the counterpart, has the same kind of crafting system without some of the unbalancy type of things. It's actually sort of a side role that Unfair has. Unfair, it just hasn't hit the table, and I just don't see it hitting the table anytime soon. I think it's a really fun game. I just don't have a consistent enough gaming group to get the most out of it. So that's where I stand.
We're going to give it a shot because I like that take mechanic. I like that.
Sometimes you do. When you win, you like it.
Yes.
When you don't win...
I don't like it as much at that point.
Not always the best winner. Not always the best. You want to talk about Pandemic?
Pandemic. So this was one of the first games that I played getting into the genre. It's a very bridge game. A lot of people who
It is.
aren't
It's an intro game.
It's an intro game. A lot of people who aren't in the board game industry know this game. This was also the first or second campaign game Legacy. There's the word I'm trying to think of. So it's also the first or second Legacy game I played.
Because you did season 1 with the Radcliffes?
I did season 2
with the Radcliffes. Okay.
Season 0 we all have, and it's all in shrink. Both of us have copies, and we're waiting to play it. And then season 1, they recommended starting with season 2. I liked it in the beginning, and then a real pandemic actually hit our country, and it kind of got too close to home, and the mechanics kind of got routine, and I felt like the games were pretty much the same every single game. The Legacy games still have enough interest and newness to them that I want to dive into the Legacy games, but the base game does not need to stay in the collection.
I've only played a few times. I wasn't ever hungry to go back into it. I actually own a collector's edition of Pandemic because I purchased it when the pandemic hit. If you watch our videos in Kentucky, down in the corner, there's a Legacy edition of Pandemic with the title fully visible on almost every video because it's currently pandemic. I thought it was an interesting call out to the state of the world and where we were. I'm going to play this one more time for our BGG Top 100.
Yeah.
I want to dive into the Legacy games as well, but honestly, I'm skeptical of them and I have very little interest in this.
There will be enough to play with the Legacy games that I don't feel we need the base game.
But both are in the top 100, which means we'll have to judge the base game accordingly.
Yes, we will have to.
But yeah, we're going to be getting rid of Pandemic. It's a great introductory game. It's not one that we are playing.
This just came in. This is staying.
This is brand new.
No matter. I am so excited to finally have a place that I can do a solo gameplay of Destinies. I want to go through all of Destinies by myself on camera.
Okay. First off,
you can go take a trip, and yes.
Wow.
This was such a fun game. The fact that it has an app that interacts with you.
Can I just note for a second, and then I'll let her go back to this? Y'all thought I was crazy when I did my, Destinies video a while back after I'd played it. I'm not the one talking right now.
It's okay. You don't have to talk. So, I loved it when I got introduced to it in Alex's basement with you and Alex. It was so much fun. The fact that there's an app that interacts with me makes me less hesitant to actually do a solo video, and I think this is a great bridge into having me do some solo content. I'm really wanting to get to that point, and this is going to be my gateway. So you're not getting rid of this.
And we just got Sea of Sand in, which is going to be, I believe, either just now available in retail or their brand new expansion that they just launched. So I'm super excited. Now, we still have other expansions to dive into.
We do.
But we'll be over that
Maybe
one
you can
soon.
come on that one.
Now, if you noticed that our games are slowly starting to escalate, I did name this video something along the lines of all the big ones are leaving, or something like that. Not quite, but this is all our big games, with the exception of KDM.
There's actually a lot more big games.
The giant. I went for giant games this time.
I know, but there's a lot of big games downstairs. There will be more big games.
Yes. Oath.
You have seen our series on Oath, most likely. You know how we feel about Oath. Take a guess. Is it staying or is it leaving?
Every time I get away from this game... No, listen. I don't like Oath. I don't. I gave it a 2... But
we all gave it 2.
Yes, but it is probably the game that I still want to hold on to more than any other 2 I have in my collection. For some
reason. How many
reason,
2s do you keep?
For some reason, I keep feeling like I could have a good experience with it. And yet I don't want to play it.
And we'll give you the opportunity to play with Alex. And if after we play, the 3 of us...
That would be interesting.
Then we can make a final decision, but it's not staying.
Revisit Oath with Alex?
It would be fun.
Oh, leave a comment if you want to see that on camera. If not, we'll do it on our own. That would be interesting. It has to go.
That's the only person
It's taking up space. I'm not going to play it. I can't hold on to things just for the sake of wanting them to be better.
This one is...
Super Fantasy Brawl by Mythic Games. This one is actually leaving the collection.
No, it is not. I was about to jump in. This is up for debate, actually, but the debate is going to be won by me. So this is my Black Rose Wars. He gets about 6 months to get Black Rose Wars to the table. I get 6 months to get Super Fantasy Brawl to the table. But don't worry, there's like 4 other people in this city who like to play this game. I don't need to play it with them. It will get to the table.
Super Fantasy Brawl is fun. It's a fun skirmish game, head-to-head, but we have so many other 2 players to play, and it takes up so much space in our collection.
It's okay, it goes on top of the Calyxes. It doesn't take up any box at all.
I'm not convinced that what I get from this game now is worth the amount of space it takes up.
I agree there's a better storage system. And if we could find a better storage system, I don't need the box
the new version of the game actually is compressed.
Okay.
Because this deals with the inserts that they have primarily. Because they were trying to do something cool, but it just didn't quite work out. The new version of the game,
I don't mind compressing it, but I like the skirmish. I like the board, what it does. I like the fact that you get to pick different characters and different ways to piece them all together. It's fun, and it's not going anywhere.
You also, have we published the video of you going head-to-head with Sam Healy?
No, it is on my to-do list to edit. So
there is also a head-to-head with Sam Healy on this. Yeah, I'm split. If she can get this to the table, if we can play and enjoy, I'm okay giving it space. But it's so big I can't even figure out where to put it down.
Reach over there. You've got some big ones.
Okay. Merchant's Cove. Final Frontier Games. We did a review early on.
Yes.
The interesting thing, and here's the fascinating thing, we did sort of a first impressions review. We'd played 3 or 4 times by the time we were talking, I think. Yeah. I don't quite remember. And we were mixed. We were mixed to like a mid-ground, right?
I think we were rating it in the 3 range. Like, it's a fine game.
The game was fine. It was interesting. It didn't give us the asymmetry that we were looking for. Correct. And I think it had to do more with bad expectations than it had to do necessarily with the game. But then the rest of the industry sort of caught up to us. Alex put out his, Dice Tower put out his, which Foursquare had, I think, 1 or 2 mixed opinions, leaning towards Alex a little bit more, and then 1 or 2 that were more towards us. It's good. It's just not my style of game.
Yeah.
So, Merchant's Cove, this one's just not sticking around. Alex still has his copy, and I believe Alex still has his copy, and I think he has all the expansions as well. I'm intrigued to play it one more time with the expansions. We still haven't gotten to the table for that. Yeah. But I don't need my own copy. Nope. I just want to fully experience some more of the modules that it has.
Yep. So. And I'm in complete agreement.
Okay.
All right. Russian Railroads.
Russian Railroads is actually leaving and staying at the exact same time.
Don't know
if any of you have access or know how to get a copy of Railroads of the World or whatever it is, it's the brand new game that has all the expansions, modules, mechanics for Russian Railroads in the reprint, because I just saw people getting it and opening it, and let me know. Like, give me a ding or something, because this is the expensive old school copy that I bought immediately after I played this game at a friend's house, and I've had it since then. And I don't necessarily need this copy. I just want the game. I really like the mechanics here. This is going to be a railroad game that's really a thinky, crunchy Euro.
Interesting.
You're doing your very best to build out various tracks that start generating you resources, and you're pushing up these lines. So the coolest thing for me is that you have railway tracks that require other things to be built in order to continue pressing them forward.
Okay.
And that's where your point is. So you'll move coal up, and then steel, and then iron. But if you get a benefit that lets you move iron, and you don't have your steel produced enough, you get locked behind.
Cool.
It has a really, really nice worker placement, really, really nice escalating engine. I think with your delve into the world of Euro games, this is going to be one you're really going to like.
Okay.
So it is staying. It's part of one of my permanent collection until I get the new print. Because, like I said, I don't know that I need the classic. I just want the game. Oh, Adventure Tactics. Adventure Tactics. This is one, I've played Alex's copy quite a few times. We did some coverage on it when the expansion came out. I think this is a really, really good introduction into family-style campaign games.
However, because it is a campaign game, granted I haven't played it so I can't speak from experience, but because it is a campaign game, we have so many campaign games that we are about to launch into. We want to launch into Middara, we're in middle of Gloomhaven, we're in middle of KDM. We have so many, we have Otherfields, we have all these campaign games that are just sitting on our shelves that this one is probably not going to get to the table for a while. And if we do find a need to get it back, we can.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. However, I don't see myself playing or tabling it. I think it fits into a household with a couple of 12-year-olds really great. This could be the family game night campaign adventure. It's all about escalating and creating and crafting your own character that goes down these variable pathways where like you can earn rewards to slowly get mage and archery and like skills at craftsmanship that allow you to become like a dark magic alchemist or like an animal training mage. That feels cool. And it's really cool for kids to be able to celebrate that. I watched Alex play with his family. I just think we're going to be getting this to the table before that.
Oh my gosh. It's still, even though we took out the book, it still weighs a ton and moves the whole tablecloth with it. Middara. And we are having some content coming to the channel pretty soon. This is one that we're both really excited to dive into.
I've actually had the chance to play with a friend. This is going to be a JRPG campaign.
I know what it stands for, Japanese role-playing game.
Yeah.
And we just did an unboxing this week. It still has to get edited, but I love the artwork. I've leafed through the book at Alex's house. I haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I'm really excited to dive in. The character building, just the whole world looks really cool. And
it's so story-driven. We're actually going to start playing this off-camera together before we dive in on camera. We have some other campaigns we're bringing to the camera. This is going to be like, maybe even this weekend, one of those games that we just start exploring because I really love what's happening here. I enjoyed playing it when it came out, but I waited for this new, I think, 1.5 version or something like that, which has balanced and tweaked a few of the mechanics of the game because it was so story-focused at the beginning. But yeah, Sucky's Publishing, Middara, and this is only Act 1. There's another shipment coming that is of equivalent size.
Wow.
So, slide that over.
You're talking about table hogs.
You're
talking about, like, shelf hogs. All right, Anachrony.
Anachrony, a game that I have said in my reviews that I am keeping. This is the Infinity Box, which I actually backed and supported. We just got Tricarion in.
Okay.
And Cerebria is made by this company.
Ooh. So yeah, I want to play it. This is not going anywhere. Cerebria is like one of my all-time favorite games. And if a company makes a game like Cerebria, which is so amazing in my books, I have to play all the rest of their games.
Yeah, so Anachrony is going to be a heavy Euro worker placement that deals with time travel. You're borrowing resources from the past that you then have to pay off to close the rift before the end of the game escalates. It's got this really interesting take out interest, take out loans from your own people. I think you're actually borrowing resources from the future, not the past. Either way, you have to start paying back the loans that you've taken. And it's really, really cool. I loved the base game of it. It's got apparently a really great solo mode as well.
Oh, nice.
And I enjoyed this solidly at 2-player, just like Cerebria. So we're going to be diving into this one at some point soon. I can't wait to show this to her. You learned and taught me Cerebria.
I did. So give me that rule book.
We'll give it a read through, and then she'll make sure I miss less of the rules this time.
So I think that brings us to a close.
That's a video.
Leave some comments down below on all the questions that we've asked. We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, and if you've watched this point, you've got to subscribe. Listen, we're doing these videos every single week until we're through
indefinitely,
our
because
collection.
We have a huge collection.
But we get like 5 games in a week anyway, so at this point, we're going to continue escalating 5 games, leaving and staying until we've hit 50 on both shelves.
And then we're going to recap.
We'll do a recap, we'll double back, we'll see what we've played, and we'll continue having this conversation because at a certain point, a man just has too many board games, and a woman can't teach them all.
And a woman doesn't have enough.
I was going to say, you can't teach them all to me.
Nope, I just don't have enough. You have too many.
Fair, either way. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you next time.